You will not believe what the biggest thing at Ascent Seattle was. It is crazy what actually happened. Hello everyone, I am Valkyrie and welcome to this quick little update. I know it's a couple weeks late, my apologies there, just been really busy after traveling and then jumping back into my normal job. But I did want to just bring this little bit recap of Ascent Seattle. I had a great time. I actually had the opportunity of casting there. I was working alongside the likes of Main Deck Dan, Red Zone Rogue, so big shout out to them for casting alongside me. It was super fun, and from the talks of everything, it sounds like everyone enjoyed it and had a good time, which I'm really happy to hear. And a big shout out to the production crew at TM32. They're doing a wonderful job and even implementing a lot of newer things into the whole Ascent itself. We had post-game interviews, which was super fun, being able to talk to the players, hear their thoughts on the event, their decks, and sort of like the meta. And then of course, like the casting desk itself, a lot of improvements. There's a new slime plush at the casting desk every time. Santa Clara was Storm Slime. Seattle we had Verdant Slime. So super cool little nifty things. Day one was great at casting, long day, 9 rounds. Things went smoothly, a lot of really fun matchups, and of course we got classic matchups from a deck, the Boogeyman deck of the season, the Water Fractals Dao Chan. But I'll touch it into a meta a bit here at the end of the video. Day 2 was amazing, continuing that strength and the energy. I got to cast the finals, which I always love because I feel like I can get like super hyped during the finals. And it delivered. It was a good time. I hope everyone who watched it enjoyed it. I feel like personally I've improved a lot from my casting, especially back in Chicago. I've been really putting in that work with trying to do as much events as possible just for training, getting experience and exposure. Because like my personal goal is just to make sure it's a very watchable experience for both experienced players and brand new people who've never even learned about the game. And that's what, makes a good caster. So thank you all for the support if you do support me out there for that. Now, for the meta of the decks, everyone thought Water Fractals Dao Chan was going to be like the tier 0 Boogeyman. It's another Toronto escapade where it's broken and that's what everyone's going to play. And yes, a lot of people brought it, but I'm actually very surprised at the variety of decks that were actually at the event, and then the ones that made day 2, made top 16, and then made top 8. Huge like melting pot of strategies. And I think this is the most diverse meta we've ever had in a very long time. And I love to see that, especially because Ascent Seattle was 1 week after the set came out, so not a lot of people had time to brew, and now as weeks progress, people are having time to brew, going through that. Like, I just casted the Michigan Regionals and Online Yeti Regionals, and that's 2 weeks after Seattle, and we've already seen a huge development of, like, decks to counter the Fractals, and then a resurgence of an old school classic deck in Tristan. And so it's just, I'm really curious to see where we're going to land meta-wise as we start getting into the national season. Because right now people are probably not going to bring out the super spice, their sauce, right? Back to Ascent Seattle. The venue was amazing. I liked it. The hotel was very nice. Of course, Seattle's just pricey in general, but what can we do about it, right? The venue hall, I loved. It felt like a mini convention just with the Ascent store, all the tables, the new players, the tournament, and everything from it went very well. Very well organized as well. Shout out to the judges and volunteers doing a really great job. I don't know if Cherry actually watches my videos, but she does a great job coordinating. She did say though at the start of Ascent Seattle she was going to invite me to the Discord where all the volunteers and people are, and I'm still waiting for that invite. But, Cherry, if you're out there, I'm still waiting. But yeah, it was a great time. I highly recommend anyone who's never been to Ascent to make it to one. I've mentioned a little prior, but it is like a mini convention, and it feels great because there's like a store you could buy things, just players wanting to sell, trade, just play games. And speaking of the store, if you do go to the store, it is a fight there. People are lining up like 2 hours before the event actually starts just to try and go ahead and get like product, the playmats and things, and those go by fast. So you have to be there very early or have someone like get you with the hook up there. Otherwise, you might not be able to get the playmats or deck boxes you want. All in all, I'm going to give Ascent Seattle like a 10 out of 10. It was a great experience, a great time, and the fact that TCG Cabin won Ascent Seattle, and this is like one of the big accomplishments that is like, I don't know who people aren't really mentioning it that much, but he's the first ever Grand Archive player to have 3 Ascent wins, or 2 Ascent wins, much less 3 now. I don't think there's any other player out there that has won multiple Ascents besides Caben, and he's already at 3 when most players are just at like 1. So he's really shown up this season to be like one of the best players. Really curious to see how he does through Nats and if he qualifies for Worlds in that way. That's something to keep your eye on. I'm a huge fan of statistics. During the stream itself, I had cue cards that I wrote down prior to the Seattle of like certain players to keep your eye on, of just like their play consistency, what decks they do, their accolades in Grand Archive. So I love doing that kind of stuff. And I'll continue doing that in the future as well. But anyways, everyone, thank you for checking in on a short little video. If you enjoy this kind of update, let me know. If not, just throw a like on this video so I know to like keep making videos, working on it, trying a new thumbnail style. I got a lot of tips on how to help grow my channel, so I'm going to be working on that. Be ready for some more videos, of course gameplay, things like that. I think the next one I might be making about is I'm going to my own regionals on April 6th. Depending on how well I do, I will make a video, but who knows. Anyways, guys, thank you all for watching and have a wonderful night.